Mr. Jones,
Yes.
are you interested in harnessing the power today?
No, I'm interested. My level of interest couldn't be greater. It's time to harness.
I almost love the idea. I mean, you're always harnessing the power of coffee, and there's a great story about a coffee bean. I
Yes.
didn't know if you wanted to tell it.
Okay, put
Three
me on the spot.
items.
3 items. You put a coffee bean into
Boiling water.
boiling water. Well, let's just start here first. You put a carrot into boiling water. It softens.
Mhm.
Potato, same thing. An egg hardens,
An egg hardens.
but the coffee bean transforms. Yeah. I read that book at my brother-in-law's house one day. The Coffee Bean. The great John Gordon.
John Gordon.
That's right.
That's
The
it.
Positive Dog. The original Positive Dog himself. That's right.
But that is harnessing power. The coffee bean is absolutely harnessing power. It's transformed it. But we're gonna chop wood and carry water.
It also turns off the adenosine receptors, so keeps us energized.
I'm telling you, this guy, the information that he holds right up here, it's unbelievable.
Here we go.
One evening, John and Akira had gone on a long walk after dinner to the edge of the property to catch the sunset. As they watched the sun drop to the horizon, Akira pointed to a large oak tree, which had been uprooted and lay fallen at the edge of the property. He asked, "Do you see that tree, John?" "Of course. What happened to it?" "A very strong wind blew it over many years ago. But after that same windstorm, a company in the city came out and set those up." "Do you know what they are?" Akira pointed in the other direction, across a wide field. Far away, John could glimpse the spinning turbines. "A wind farm?" "Exactly. Isn't it strange, John, that wind can be both creative and destructive at the same time? It all depends on how you harness it. It can destroy homes or trees, or it can create power or push a sailboat across an ocean." John nodded. "I'd never thought of it that way." Akira continued. "Words are a lot like that. Just like the wind, they're everywhere. We use them every day to talk to others, but most importantly, we use them to talk to ourselves. And just like the wind, their power can either destroy or create. You may not have control over how other people talk to you, but you do have control over how you talk to yourself. And that is hugely important because words put pictures in your mind. Pictures in your mind impact how you feel. How you feel impacts what you do, and what you habitually do impacts your destiny." Reminds me of that story about character.
I'm up.
What amazes me.
What amazes me is that many people, often without realizing it, use this power to talk themselves into choices that are harmful for themselves in the long run, even if they might offer temporary happiness. Or they use their words to give power to their inner critic, destroying their own joy and growth before it even has a chance to start. "What do you mean?" asked John. "We're all experts in mental training, John, because we practice it every day. Most people just aren't aware of it. Our brains can't distinguish between what is real and imagined, and we can actually wrap muscle memory with vivid visualization. You use visualization every single day, though you might only be using it in negative ways." "How so?" asked John. "Do you ever worry, John?" Worrying is a form of negative visualization that helps create the scenario you see happening in your mind. The hard choice, but the one that is best for us in the long run, is to use your words to put beneficial pictures in your mind and talk to yourself in ways that push you to greater growth and toward what is most beneficial in the long run. It might sound crazy at first, but using beneficial and constructive self-talk instead of giving power to our inner critic is one of the most formidable strategies possible to use toward reaching your own potential. You might not be able to stop negative thoughts or use your inner critic from screaming at you, but you don't have to believe them or give them significance, and you can definitely talk to yourself rather than just listening to the negativity. John nodded, understanding. "Just like the wind?" Akira smiled. "Yes, John. Just like the wind," right? Boy, there's a lot of good songs about the wind. She's Like the Wind, Patrick Swayze.
Against the Wind.
Against the Wind, Robert Seeger. Ride Like the Wind, Christopher Cross.
Well, boys and girls, it is journal time.
It's time.
What do you do during journal time?
You bind your own business. Absolutely.
Bind it, baby.
Absolutely. Binders keepers. So, take out whatever it is that you use, wide rule, college rule, whatever the rule, go ahead and take that out and grab some sort of writing utensil because we're going to reflect. First thing we want to reflect on is just an idea. Boy, I'm out of the picture there. Let us get back in there. Excuse me.
Get in there tight.
The same wind can either destroy a tree to blow a tree over or power a city, right? In terms of like a turbine. I'm sure you've seen, if you've ever gone north up on 65, Highway 65. Thank God for the Interstate Highway Act, Dwight Eisenhower. If you go up north, you will see a lot of wind turbines, and they're generating electricity from wind, right? So that same wind can be a force of destruction or a force of generating more power. So think about the wins in your life, right? And I think oftentimes the wins, the stresses, the struggles, the extra energy, I'm looking right at you, 7th grade boys, the strong emotions that we may actually have. Are we allowing those forces, those wins, to knock us down? Or are we using those? Are we harnessing the power of those winds to be able to drive us forward and get stronger? And that leads us to the next question, Mr. Morgan, the next bullet point.
And before we get there, it so reminds me of kind of the conversation that we had last week about the rough side of the mountain, right? And the importance of that adversity. So, our next question. What is one way you can build a turbine for your stress, pressure, and emotions instead of letting them blow you over?
That might be a tough question. I wrote something down here in my book. And I took that idea, which we're getting ready to talk about here in a second. Your words can create pictures, then create feelings, then actions, and ultimately destiny. So what might that look like negatively? Say, for example, we take nervousness. And we take that nervousness and then that gives us a picture, right? I always used to get nervous before a game sometimes. And sometimes I would put a picture of me making an error or missing a basket. And that then put a picture, and then that gave me a feeling of a lack of confidence. And then sometimes that could result in not an optimal outcome. However, if we could take that and use that nervousness as energy for our performance rather than cause for concern, right? Or use that stress to drive us to prepare, right? We can then flip the script there, so to speak, and create a positive picture that's going to be accompanied by positive feelings, and later downstream from that, more favorable actions, and ultimately that can lead to better outcomes, to our destiny, right? So if we spend all this time worrying, what have we trained our brain to do?
Worry.
Yeah, and then we've put all these negative pictures in our brain. But on the flip side, if we can then harness that and use that stress, use that nervousness, use those strong emotions for positive, it's just an intentionality that is going to be good for you, because adversity is coming. I mean, that adversity is coming. It comes for us all. But how are we harnessing that? Next thing, that quote there, Mr. Morgan.
Talk to yourself rather than just listening to the negativity. Talk to yourself rather than just listening to the negativity.
Hit us with that first bullet point.
When you make a mistake, do you passively listen to the inner critic, or do you actively talk back to it?
So here's what I want us to do. We want us to give yourself a phrase. Call it a power phrase. Do you remember what would happen my first year as assistant principal and you'd be out of the building? Do you remember, did I come to you confidently and say, Mr. Morgan, I got this? Or did I come to you and say, okay, now walk me through here a couple of things? Which one?
We were a little nervous.
Yes, yeah, without a doubt. Displayed a sense of being unsure. And my good friend, Mr. Mann, who serves as district mentor and a mentor for myself, used to say, do you remember what he used to say?
Hit him.
He used to say, we're building capacity. This is building capacity. And sure enough, it did. Any of those opportunities, we could listen to that inner critic, or we could put a power phrase. Here's another one we could use. Yet. Right? I'm not very good at fill in the blank.
Yes.
Yet. Right? Or I'm in the process of getting better at. Both may be true. It might be true that you may not actually be in the moment good at that, but we're in the process. That term yet, that I'm working toward, it's also true, and that is the way that you put a different picture and we use it. And then ultimately that picture influences our feelings and actions. What are your thoughts there?
Well, I think oftentimes we focus on perfection, and perfection is never going to happen, right? So
do you know anybody that struggles with perfection?
Everyone?
Yeah, okay, there you go. Yeah.
So I think if you could reframe your mind to being the best that you can be in the moment, and again, maybe you're not great yet, but in that moment, being able to visualize yourself doing well is going to put you in a much better place than visualizing yourself not doing well, because there is such thing as a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Without
right?
a doubt. It's the pictures.
Yeah.
It's the pictures. That positive self-talk is incredibly important. It doesn't mean it's not realistic. We should be real. We should deal with reality. But how we deal with reality and how we process that sets the trajectory where we want to go. And
I'm a left-handed basketball player, and I am much more confident at finishing with my left hand around the rim than I am with my right. However, I can do both. Knowing that this is a strength for me is important, right? Because in a moment where I really need it, when I know I need it, I'm going to go with the left. But also having confidence in that right hand is important as well.
without a doubt. Without a doubt. Absolutely.
Let's chop wood.
Carry water. Have a great Friday, my friends.